Right here in Brevard County, Florida, three ancient giants were sleeping just 10 feet below the surface, and a bulldozer almost erased them forever. It's 1993. A construction crew working for the St. Johns River Water Management District is digging a drainage pit along the edge of the St. Johns Marsh, right here in the far southwestern corner of Brevard County, 27 degrees north, 80 degrees west. Routine work. Move the dirt, fill the pit, move on. But the bones they started finding stopped everything. This quiet patch of Florida flatlands was sitting on top of a window into a world that vanished over 500,000 years ago. Look at this elevation map of Florida's east coast. The reds and oranges to the west, that's the ancient Florida highlands. The greens dropping down toward the coast, that's where things get interesting. Tucker Barrow Pit sits right here, at about 20 feet above sea level, right on the western edge of the St. Johns Marsh, one of the longest rivers in North America, flowing north through a broad, flat, ancient floodplain. Now here's the key. When those animals were alive, somewhere between 600,000 and 1.3 million years ago, this wasn't a marsh. It wasn't even land as we know it. Sea level was higher. This site was a coastal lagoon or bay, shallow saltwater, nearshore marine environment. The bones got washed in from nearby land and mixed with marine shells on the seafloor. That's why the stratigraphy is so remarkable. Sitting just above a late Pliocene marine shell bed and just below a late Pleistocene marine formation. The bone layer is sandwiched in time, a thin slice of Florida that existed between two oceans, and those ancient shorelines tell that whole story. The bone bed, Unit 2A, sits at about 11 feet above sea level, just 3 to 4 inches thick. That's where everything came from. Mammoth, mastodon, giant tapir wading the shallow coastal waters, horses and camels roaming the savanna, llamas, deer, 3 elephant relatives in a single site. Below the bone bed, marine shell beds of the Nashua Formation, ancient sea floor. Above it, more marine shells of the Fort Thompson Formation. These animals are literally sandwiched between two oceans, separated by hundreds of thousands of years. And here's what gets you. All of this was only 10 feet below the surface. A bulldozer's blade away from being lost forever. Just flat Florida scrubland. Nothing to see. Until there was. And the birds. 4 species identified: cormorant, heron, duck, and hawk. Florida's ancient coastal skies, preserved in bone. When the excavation was done, everything collected from the Tucker Barrow Pit, over 600 cataloged specimens, was transferred to the Florida Museum of Natural History at the University of Florida in Gainesville. That's where they live today, cataloged as Vertebrate Fossil Locality BR011, available to researchers, part of the permanent scientific record. But here's what makes this site truly special. It's not just about the animals. It's about what they tell us. That this corner of Brevard County, sitting quietly behind the St. Johns Marsh, was once a shallow coastal bay teeming with life. Sharks, sea turtles, alligators, mammoths drinking at the water's edge. A world that existed for hundreds of thousands of years, then vanished, buried under 10 feet of sand, nearly erased by a construction deadline, saved by a phone call. Tucker Barrow Pit, Brevard County, Florida, one of the oldest Pleistocene fossil sites on Florida's Atlantic coast, and one of the most important ever found.